I'm Jilly from Jilly's Creative Corner. Today I'm going to be doing a video for you on one of our new stamp sets in the new mini catalogue from Stampin Up. It's Tranquil Thoughts. It's a beautiful stamp set. It's got lots, I love flowers, and it's got lots of flowers, but it's got some lovely sentiments as well. So the two cards I'm going to make you, you will only need this stamp set. You won't need other stamp sets because the sentiments are really good in here too. So it's on page 36 of the catalogue. It does actually come as part of a bundle if you wanted to buy the framelets that go with it as well, and the framelets are in there. Just the stamp set, which is what I've got with me today, is £20, and but if you buy it as a bundle with the framelets, it comes out at £48.50 because you get a 10% discount to buy the bundle. I'm going to do a basic card first, and then I would do another video later on to just show you how you can step it up. The same stamp set, but you can just step it up a little bit. So this is the card that we're going to make today, and I've used the colours, all the products are from Stampin Up. I've used the colours Highland Heather, which is that one there, which is this beautiful like violet colour, beautiful. Pool Party, which is like this greeny, very light green, and So Saffron, which is the beautiful yellow. So put those two over there. So for this card I've used this stamp, which is, and then I cut them out. You need some sharp scissors. I actually cut those out, and then the background stamping is done with this leaf here and this little flower here, and then the sentiment is wishing you a beautiful day, and that's that one there. So I've got them up on blocks already, just to save time really on the video. So the flowers, I've used some Wink of Stella, and I don't know if you can see that it makes it slightly shiny. It just makes them ping a little bit. This is the ribbon. There's some ribbon just under there. You'll see some ribbon just to add some texture, and that's the polka dot ribbon, again from Stampin Up. So that's the ribbon there. Then we've used the these are the Whisper White notelet cards and envelopes. You get 20 in a pack. So I've used those, and this is the punch, which punched out the sentiment there. So to get started, I've folded my cards on the fold and bone folded it down, make it a firm. So what we're going to do is we are going to stamp a background straight onto this card. So that's all the stamps around there. So what I did was I took Pool Party and So Saffron. I'll take Pool Party first. And I took this leaf. I mean, it is a leaf, but it could also it looks so like a feather to me. So, you know, you could think of it as a leaf or a feather. So ink up your, and then just randomly, so one there, one over there. Doesn't matter if it goes off the page. Do one so it's going that way, one so it's going that way. Just stick a little bit on there and then turn it around so it's a little bit there. You can always come back to that colour. Again, you can clean off your stamps with baby wipes. I love the stamping scrub that Stampin' Up do with the stamping mist. So one side's wet and one side's dry. So you spray your stamping mist on the wet side, get your stamp, you just rub it on. So that cleans it off, and dry it on there. And then I always, just in case there's any residue on there, I always stamp it on my grid paper to make sure it's ultra clean. So now I've cleaned that stamp, so I always get my fingers into ink, so I always close them up until I'll reopen them if I need them again. So then I go in with the So Saffron ink, the same leaf up again, so we go this way, just filling up the gaps. I'm going to take the little flower head. So I'm going to come in with Highland Heather. And I'm going to do two things with this one. This is the full colour, so I'm going to stamp that straight down, straight up. And then I stamp again. So it's slightly paler, and it's like it's given you two colours, although it is the same colour. So I put a full one there, and a half one there, and a full one here, and a half one there. Put a full one here, and a half one there. It's really just filling up any gaps that you think I want something there. So I'm going to put a little bit there. Have a little bit down. That's what's so useful about grid paper as well. If you didn't want any more full colour on there, stamp it off on your grid paper, and I'm just going to put a little bit in there. So I think that's, maybe put a little one up there, put a full one there. So I think that's probably enough, because we are going to be putting some other flowers on there as well. So now I'm going to take the large flower, and what I've got a scrap of Whisper White here, and I'm going to ink up the large flower. I'll do that twice because I want two of the large flower. And then I'm going to just quickly clean that off, because I want one of the So Saffron as well. At the beginning of this video I said that there is a bundle. This stamp set comes as part of a bundle if you wanted to buy the framelets as well. The framelets do cut out the flowers and the leaves, and it also has some other beautiful cutouts that you can put as part of the cards. I don't have the dies at the moment, so I am actually going to fussy cut the large leaves out. So if you don't have the dies, you can still use this stamp set. It's still beautiful. So now I've done two, because I want the two big flowers in Pool Party. and I only want one big flower in So Saffron. So I'm going to ink up So Saffron, and I'm going to stamp that down. And I'm going to put that away while I get my fingers stuck in it like normal. So I've fussy cut 2 out so far off camera, so I thought I'd just show you how easy it is, because really you've got the outline of the big flower. So I'm just show you that these paper snips that Stampin' Up do, they are so good. They are very sharp and they go right into corners. They actually cut right to the very ends, so it makes fussy cutting quite easy. So I'm not going to be using the smaller flowers, so I don't have to worry too much if they get cut. But it's easy if you wanted to use the smaller flowers as well and you don't have the framelets, then it's perfectly easy to cut round them and still be able to use them. It's more tricky trying to do it under the camera. But so that's my bits. So what I actually did with them, I want them to ping a bit more. So just to make the edges of the flowers ping a little bit, I like to use my dauber. You put it on your finger and you just dip it in. So I'm going to use Highland Heather and just do the tips. So it makes it look like, you know, any flower that you could buy in the shop that's got tipped with a different colour on it. So it just makes the flowers ping a little bit. So I just finished off doing my last flower. Just a little bit there. So the last thing I'm going to do with my these 3 little flowers here is before I get them ready to put them on the card, is I'm going to get my Wink of Stella. It brings out the it just makes them sparkle. I'll pop some on. So just paint it over the top. I'll just wait for that to dry a second. Then I'll pop it up to the camera for you to see. Hopefully I'll get the angle right so you can see it's all sparkly, and that can go on. It doesn't take seconds really to dry, but I like to do it now, and then when I come to actually mould the flowers a little bit, it's already in there. So if I take this one, you may be able to see it sparkle. Oh, can you see that? You may see it better when it's on the card. If I show you, you may be able to see it better on the card. Okay, so with the sponge daubers that I was talking about earlier, you get 5 in a pack, and they are £4.75. They're sponge daubers. They're amazing, and you can wash them So they may look stained, but they aren't. You know, you're not going to get that colour ink if you use it on a different in a different colour, as long as you've washed them and they've washed through clear. So this is the punch that we're going to be using. It's called Label Me Lovely, and it's in our annual catalogue that's out now. If anybody would like a catalogue, we've got the annual catalogue that's running right through to the end of June, and the mini catalogue that is going from January the 2nd to the end of June. Just drop me a comment in the comments box or send me a private message or email, and I'll sort one out for you, send you one out. Okay, so with the scrap of Whisper White that we had earlier to make the flowers on, I'm just going to punch out. I find it easier to punch out, so with our punches you just push that up like that and it opens, and then you pop the card down inside there. Make sure that you're covered right over, and then just pop it like that, and then there's your, and then lock it back up afterwards. So again, when I do my sentiments, I don't know if you saw my last video, I'll always be saying the same thing. I like to try and get them as straight as possible, so I use my grid paper a lot. We also sell grid paper if anybody who does like to use it or wants to try it. That's in the annual catalogue as well. You can see all the catalogues on my website. Just go to my website and there's the catalogues on the sidebar. So I'm going to do this one in, I'm going to stamp this sentiment in Pool Party. So just ink that up, make sure it's all covered, and then get it as near to the centre as I can. And it's a beautiful font. I love swirly fonts. So you've got the plainer at the top and then a beautiful swirly one underneath. So again, to make that, so that's how it was flat, you know, just stamped onto white, but I liked the edging of it, just to compare, show you to compare. I love the edging, it makes it ping more, makes the words ping in my opinion. So I'm going to get my trusty dauber out again and my Highland Heather and just go around the outside edges. So if you use a dauber, if you only want it on the very edges, just use it like that. So it's literally just tickling the edges. If you want it more covered on a bit of the front, which I liked, then you just have it more of an angle like that. So now I'm going to take my ribbon. I just want a strip of ribbon to go down the middle. So I'm going to take my ribbon and just to gauge how much I want, I just put it across the middle like that. So I pretty much want to cut it there. So I always use ribbon, what I call classes. I keep scissors especially for ribbon because paper will tend to blunt your scissors. So I would advise keeping a separate pair of scissors just for your to cut ribbon. So that will fit along there nicely. So then I just get, I tend to use Stampin' Seal Plus. So I just put a line just across the middle and then pop So we're basically layering up our cards now. So we've got our background done. Now we've got our piece of ribbon, that's for some texture. I don't put the glue all the way along, so so that's at the end's got a bit of movement. I then will put my my sentiment on dimensionals, so they will rise it up a bit. Okay, so I just put 2 at the bottom, 2 at the top, and then when it sits over the ribbon, it's not actually attached to the ribbon. So I'm going to offset my sentiment over to the side, and then that gives me room to put my flowers around the sides like this. So then you still see some texture of the ribbon each side. Put that over there. I'm just going to line that up. See, my nails are not hanging on, but now my nail lady's in lockdown with us all. So yeah, they're slowly coming off. I've lost that one and that one so far. I'm seeing how long I can hang on to them. Right, so with the flowers, at the moment, they're quite flat. So I tend to get my fingers to break down the fibres a little bit, so that they tend to stand up instead of stay flat. You need to break down the fibres a bit in the paper, in the cardstock. So I tend to just use my fingers and thumbs and just make them, so now instead of lying completely flat, they've got a bit of life about them. So you do that with all 3 flowers. So when you've given them a bit of texture, so that they've got a bit of movement in them, I get a dimensional, so they stand up a little bit. Put one in the centre of each one. So when you come to this part in the pack of your dimensionals and you've only got outside, don't waste those. They are brilliant if you need long areas done, but if not, if you need small areas. So I tend to take those off because I really could do with that, so that can go in the middle of there. But also, if you've got tiny areas, just take that off. I don't need it at this moment, so you stick that in there, and you can use that you know, at a later date. So you can actually use every part. There's absolutely no waste in these dimensionals. You know, they're sticky right to the outside, and there's no wastage at all. So don't think when all the middle big bits have gone, that's it, you know, you can't use anything else. You can use absolutely all of it. So now you just take the backing off and decide where you want to put it. So I'm going to put that one probably there, and I'll take the yellow one. Maybe pop it that one like that, and then you can see a bit of the ribbon poking through there. And then this one like that. Now I'm going to take a little bit more. Now it's all, you've had your fingers all over it, and if any of the Wink of Stella's come off, you can take a bit more Wink of Stella and paint that on there once it's all done. Make it all shiny. I don't think you can ever have too much sparkle. Love sparkle. the flowers. Okay, so there is the front of your card, finished. But instead of leaving it plain inside, you can take your, just to bring a bit of the front into the inside, so take your leaf and your little flower and just copy basically what you've done, but just in a corner. So take the pool party and do a little bit there, and then take some of your So Saffron, put that up there, and then you can take your Highland. I actually quite like it like that, but you could also add a flower and pop it maybe in there. I quite like it like that because I haven't got any of the stems in. Sorry, show you like that. Because I haven't got any of the actual stems in, I'm going to leave mine like that because I think it looks quite pretty. It makes the inside a bit prettier than just plain. So thanks very much for watching this video. I will be doing an upscale, so that was the one we made today, and then later on I will make one so it's the same stamp set but we've used slightly different. I'm going to make that one for you next time. So that was the one that you just stamp straight onto the base of the card. In this one we'll have a separate piece that you'll stamp on, so it's a bit higher, and we've got some different ribbon in there and some different flowers. Hope you enjoyed the video, and if you do and you'd like to subscribe to my channel, that would be fabulous. Thank you very much. And if you'd like to like my video, that would be even more helpful because I'm just starting out and I need to get my presence out into the online world.